Welcome to Film Smart. This episode will be about what we think the best comic book movies of 2014 will be. Let's get into it.
About the movies that come out in 2014, all superhero movies. There's 4 of them. 4 big ones, I would think. I mean, there might be a couple of small ones, but the 4 main ones I think that are going to make the most money: Captain America: The Winter Soldier, X-Men: Days of Future Past, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Which, one thing to point out, they're all Marvel properties. They're not all owned by Marvel Studios, but some are owned by Fox, Sony, and Disney. But they all are Marvel Comics characters. So let's get into it. Captain America: The Winter Soldier is Steve Rogers is struggling to embrace his role into the modern world after the events of the Avengers, and he battles a new threat from his past, the Winter Soldier, which is obviously his friend Bucky Barnes, who fell off the train in Captain America, if you remember that part. I thought that part was a little corny.
Yeah, me too. I think it was really unnecessary.
But he's gonna be in it. He looks pretty cool with the Winter Soldier. I think he looks good.
The metal arm.
When he grabs
catches the shield. That sold me.
And then the Falcon, you bring in Falcon with Anthony Mackie. He's a great talent. He's a great actor. I'm hoping they put him in Avengers 2 in 2015 or Avengers. I would think they put him in Avengers 3. But
yeah, at least Avengers 3, because Avengers 2, I think adding Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver is just enough already.
Much, but
and then the fact in the trailer when I saw Falcon, I think that's a really I didn't think he would be that cool, because when I saw him on Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes, he had that interesting red and white costume on with those big holographic wing things. Yeah. And I thought Falcon was really lame. But when I saw him in the trailer, that really sold me on how cool of a character he could really be. So I'm hoping that he is introduced in later movies as well.
Yeah, the Falcon, he's an interesting character. And then, of course, they have Scarlett Johansson's character, Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff. She looks good as ever. I'm sure she's going to kick some butt again with Captain America. And then another interesting thing I see is they're bringing in Peggy Carter again, who was Captain America's love in the first movie. And I'm sure they're going to have to age her 60 or 70 years. She'll probably be in her 90s, so I have to put a lot of makeup on her to make her look really old. I wonder how that's going to work out. And then I suspect that Emily Van Camp's character, Agent 13, is probably going to play her granddaughter. I think they said.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I really think you should do that.
And then obviously Nick Fury's going to be a big part of it. And then they're bringing in another great talent, Robert Redford, for Alexander Pierce, who's kind of the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. I suspect that he's a villain and that he's going to be behind the Winter Soldier or something. I don't know.
Do you think he might be... Never mind. I think... Didn't Red Skull die in the first one?
Or
did he just get, transported?
Yeah, we don't really...
Because in a way, I was on YouTube discussing this with some people, and they came up with this theory that he could be Red Skull because, he always has, a mask on or something. And I thought, well, that would be an interesting kind of twist if he was like, ah.
Well, but then be just like the first one.
Yeah. Isn't the guy who played him not coming back?
He said he doesn't want to do superhero movies anymore, which is crazy. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Yeah. All the money.
And then you got Frank Grillo. He's coming as Crossbones. I think he's going to be working with Captain America because he was in the beginning of the trailer with the jumping off the plane scene. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to work together, and then he's going to be like a double agent. And he kind of has that look, that smirk on his face that kind of looks like him. You can't trust this dude. And then they're bringing in Batroc the Leaper, who's another villain they're going to bring. I don't know what part he's really going to play in, but it'll be interesting to see him. And they're bringing in Chin Han. He's not a character, he's just the actor. You'll recognize him from The Dark Knight. They're bringing Gary Shandling back, Senator Stern. You remember him from Iron Man 2. He was funny with his exchanges with Stark and Rhodes. So yeah, I think it'll be a good movie. And it's directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, who are brothers, and they usually do comedies, but I think they look from the action, it looks really cool. So I think it'll, like that Falcon scene, that was amazing.
Yeah, when he jumps off and then the wings come out.
And then with the what do you call it? What is it? The ships they fly on in the air.
All I know is the helicarrier.
The helicarrier. The helicarrier. When all of those fly down, you see how many there are. There's a lot of them.
40. It says 42 on one of them. So
there's one of them says 80.
Oh.
So I mean, there was like a 69 and then 82 and 84. I think I saw an 84. I mean, there was a lot. So they have a lot of them. So Avengers It might take the magnitude of Avengers.
Yeah.
But
it seems like it's getting to that scale.
Yes.
Shield is. I feel like this is almost becoming a Shield movie.
It basically is.
Because he is just a glorified agent of Shield.
And then you have Falcon as a Shield agent. You have Black Widow as a Shield agent. You have Nick Fury as the leader. And then you have Robert Redford's character as the real leader, who I think is going to turn against them. So I think it'll be a good movie. I'm really excited for it. It comes out on April 4th of 2014.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'm just going to list off the cast first. I'm going to Chris Pratt. He's playing Star-Lord, who is a half-human, half-alien hybrid. He goes into space. Well, he leaves Earth. And apparently his ship crashes and he finds these people and they form his team, the Guardians of the Galaxy. And Zoe Saldana will be playing Gamora, and she was adopted by Thanos as a child, and she was raised to be a weapon, but she is now she's known as the most dangerous woman in the universe. But then eventually she turns against Thanos because of his hunger for destroying the entire universe and death, his affection for death, the actual entity. So that's why she turns against him. Dave Bautista was cast as Drax the Destroyer, and he was created for the sole purpose of killing Thanos by Kronos when he was murdered by Thanos himself. He was Arthur Douglas before he was just a normal human, but Kronos gave him his transferred his spirit into a new body with Hulk-like strength so he can take on Thanos. And Bradley Cooper, he signed on to voice Rocket Raccoon, a gun-wielding creature that happens to look exactly like a raccoon. And apparently the audience will fall in love with him. That's straight from Kevin Feige's mouth. And now, officially, yesterday, they confirmed that Vin Diesel has joined the cast as Groot. Interesting, the character only says, "I am Groot," throughout the whole movie. He has no other lines.
But they did say Vin Diesel will probably be playing another character in the Marvel Universe. Because I feel like that'd just be a waste.
A lot of people are speculating that he would play the Vision. I don't think that he should.
I really hope he doesn't play the Vision.
I feel like that's more of a calmer demeanor. I don't know. I feel like you have to be more than just intimidating to play.
And I feel like you have to be he's not a bad actor, but I feel like you need a better actor to do that.
Don't lie. The Fast and Furious movies don't prove anything. He's a bad actor. This is for you.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good voice actor with the Iron Giant, and I'm sure he'll do fine with Groot, but it's not really hard. I just, with Vision, I envision, no pun intended, somebody else doing that. I don't know who, not Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I think James Gunn is the perfect director for this because he's known for some of his quirkier movies. And some other characters that are joining the cast. I forget who's playing her, but Nebula. The girl shaved her head.
Shaved her head.
To play Nebula.
I know they're bringing Glenn Close, which is a great talent.
For Nova Prime.
Nova Prime. So that'll be really
That's going to be really interesting to see the Nova Corps introduced.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I really
would have never thought she'd do a movie like this.
Yeah.
But,
or that Nova was that old. Because I don't know I'm not familiar with the characters much.
Well, yeah. It's not Nova like the...
Yeah, no. It's not Richard Rider.
Yeah. And then, what is Nebula? Oh, Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan she signed on to play Nebula.
Yeah. And then you got Lee Pace as Ronan the Accuser.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really cool character. I feel like he'll work for Thanos for a time because they said he's the main villain. But I think that he is going to turn against Thanos because he is.
Yeah, I think at the beginning he's definitely going to be working for Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also, do you think the Collector is working for Thanos?
I don't know.
Or do you think he's almost working for himself?
For himself, yeah. I don't think he works for anybody. I don't think he's bad or I don't think he's good. I think he's just.
I think whoever. I think he's more of a. He's more of a. He just works for himself.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really care about what happens to his associates.
And then you got John C. Reilly as Roman Day. I believe that he is a SHIELD agent, but he's their liaison to.
Also, we are going to see some connection.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I believe.
And this team has dealt with Ultron before in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Annihilation. Ultron was he's a big baddie for this team.
So Roman Day, he's not a human. Well, I don't know if he might be a human, but he's not like a SHIELD agent. He was the head of the Nova Corps, but he's kind of their liaison to SHIELD. So he connects the two worlds. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a connection when they bring the Avengers. I would think in Avengers 3 that Guardians are going to join them.
I'm thinking at least one of the Guardians. I think they're going to establish which Guardian is the most popular, which of course they're probably going to market Star-Lord.
Or Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, but do you really think they're going to bring him in? I think
know.
Star-Lord would be a character that would actually shine.
Yeah.
Because Rocket Raccoon, okay, he does all that, but he's not really. I think even though I'm not technically a person who exactly prefers relatable characters, I think Star-Lord looks like us. He'll probably act like us.
Yeah, I think Rocket Raccoon will be similar to. Well, I think Rocket Raccoon and Groot will be like the Hulk for the Guardians. I think they both will, and they'll kind of be the comic relief.
And also Groot. You know, Groot's really strong.
No, I see.
And he had I think it's Rocket Raccoon.
No. But yeah, they'll Groot and Rocket Raccoon, I think, will both be kind of like the Hulk Guardians. They'll bring the comedic aspect to it.
So, it comes out August 1st, 2014.
The next movie is Amazing Spider-Man 2. Comes out May 2nd. It has Andrew Garfield, of course, just like we had him last year in The Amazing Spider-Man. I think he'll do great again. I like the new suit that he's wearing. And he's going to be facing off mainly against Electro, from what I'm hearing. Jamie Foxx played Max Dillon. Kind of plays this nerdy scientist that nobody cares about. But he's going to get some powers after Oscorp does some tests on him. And I think he falls into like a electric eel thing.
Yeah.
And then they do some stuff to him, because Oscorp is like the empire that every evil thing comes from Oscorp.
I think I like that. I think that they have even Marvel has the puppet master type thing. Oscorp is Sony's puppet master.
Norman Osborn is the Thanos of.
Yeah, even he's getting sick in this movie. You can even see in the theater his face almost looks like it's
green.
He
almost looks green. He looks like the Green
Goblin.
So.
Ooh, what if he isn't sick as much as he's taken something to try to augment himself and he turns into the Green Goblin, like literally the Green Goblin.
Maybe that's when he's getting better. When he was green, maybe he's actually getting better, because I don't know, Dane DeHaan's face, he looked happier. Like, I don't know, maybe he wants his dad to die, but.
And then that part when they say that not everybody has a happy ending, you can tell that was kind of cut. Like it was, so it kind of, they made it seem like they were talking about Peter Parker, but they could have been talking about anybody.
And it has Sally Field as Aunt May again. You got Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. I can't pronounce his real name. It's like, it actually has my name in it. Alexei
Sistovic.
Yeah, Sistovic. So he'll be playing the Rhino. That'll be interesting. His suit reminds me a lot of Ironmonger from the first Iron Man film. So I think it'll be good. I think it looks cool.
I'm really interested to see how they're going to kind of take care of Electro at the end of this movie and Rhino, because they all come. Obviously, they've announced the Sinister Six in the Venom movie, so I'm really wondering how they're going to take care of these villains. Like, are they just going to put them in another jail, like Lizard is?
Yeah. And you got Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn, and he looks like a goblin. I don't know if he's the Hobgoblin or if I don't know what he is. If he actually is the Green Goblin, because he doesn't look. I think they're really saving for the real Green Goblin, which I think is going to be Chris Cooper playing.
That'd be really interesting.
And then if you watch the trailer, you saw Doc Ock's tentacles and Oscorp.
Vulture's wings.
And then you saw this gentleman walking by. I think that guy is actually the Gentleman, which is a character who brings together the Sinister Six. I think the Sinister Six movie that's coming out in 2018 or whenever, I think that movie is going to be more than 6. I think it is. I think because they're going to have Lizard already, unless he dies at some point. They're going to have Electro. They're going to have Rhino. They're going to have Green Goblin. They're going to have Doc Ock. They're going to have Vulture. And I wouldn't be surprised if they brought in maybe a Venom as a sneak.
Yeah.
Or if they brought in a Kraven the Hunter.
I really like Kraven the Hunter.
I really like Mysterio. I think he's interesting because he has no powers. All of it is just like tricks.
One thing I'm really kind of excited about is to just see how it'll all play out, how Spider-Man would defeat all of them. Because the way the first movie was set up, he had a lot of trouble just defeating the Lizard.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping that he might get help from somebody. So you never know who they own.
You got Felicity Jones. She could play Black Cat, and she is like Catwoman on steroids. So she could bring in another aspect. And so they got a lot of cool things coming up in this new story, and I'm really excited for it. It's directed by Mark Webb again, and they say it's his greatest battle yet, but only a second. But
Yeah, they
but he's going through a lot, so and it looks like he's getting stronger. Like when he grabs the car.
yeah.
I remember stuff like happening in the first stuff like that happening in the first movie.
I think he's more confident as Spider-Man now.
Mm-hmm.
So the next movie we're going to talk about is X-Men: Days of Future Past, which comes out on May 23rd, 2014, and it centers around the team from X-Men First Class and the team from what we left from X-Men 3, including Professor X. And it centers on Wolverine going back in time to fix the past from these Sentinels that were created to destroy mutants. And they can only send Wolverine back because Kitty Pryde, she goes back in the comic book, but they can only send Wolverine back because he's old enough, number one, to go back and still be alive. And they're not actually doing like anything with a physical body. It's all mind. So she couldn't have really performed it on herself. And it's so painful that he would have been the only one that could survive it. So I really wonder, and her powers, it's kind of cool to see how they've evolved. So I kind of want to see how everybody else's powers have evolved too. Like, oh, and then that cool floaty chair for Professor X.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that photo?
Oh yeah, I did.
And I'm really interested to see trailer number 2 for X-Men: Days of Future Past when they have all the effects finished, so that we can finally see some Sentinels. Because I know that they look big and plastic, but when they put some CGI on them, obviously they're going to look really good.
And I like they showed a picture of one of them at Ronald Reagan's inauguration.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty cool.
And I really like the thing how they're kind of tying Magneto into the assassination.
With John F. Kennedy, yeah. They have to be careful though, because
a lot of people could take that the wrong way.
Yeah, and they have to be careful with what they do it with.
And apparently Mystique, she was disguised as not John Wilkes Booth, but there was another guy.
Oh,
and he was like it's like it's going to be debated whether or not he was trying to bend the bullet to hit him, or whether or not he was trying to deflect it to save her. So you never know. And you can tell that Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique is coming into the Rebecca Romijn Mystique, where she's the brutal assassin and she does all
terrible person.
So I really see it becoming X-Men 1, like. So yeah, they really are in a way just prequels.
I wonder where they're gonna jump with
X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. I wonder when that's gonna take place, or how many. I don't might do what X-Men: Days of Future Past doing. We're gonna go back and forth. I don't know, but it could be interesting.
And recently they announced that Rogue, Anna Paquin's character, has been cut from the film because she the scene that she filmed initially had to be cut due to it being unnecessary, and the length of the film was too long, so they had to just cut it out completely. I really like the character. I know a lot of people didn't like what she did with Rogue, but you can only do so much with what they write, so you can't expect gold from a bronze script.
Yeah.
So I really like the character, and I really think it would have been cool to see what she could have done with some other people's powers.
Yeah, it's disappointing, but not a huge loss. It would have been more disappointing if they said like Wolverine couldn't come.
I don't even think they'd make the movie.
Yeah, if they don't have Professor X, Magneto, Wolverine, Storm, and who's that? Oh, and
what if they find a young Storm?
Ellen Page's character. Huh?
What if they find a young Storm in the past?
That could be interesting. Probably a better actress than Halle Berry.
Yeah, definitely need to find a different actress.
Yeah, she's.
Well, I think that's all for today, guys. So thanks for watching. We love having you.
All right.
Make sure to leave a comment down below and subscribe.